Hi, this is Eric Stromquist. Welcome to Control Talk Now, episode 227, the Smart Buildings Videocast and Podcast. We are not in Kansas anymore, but as usual, I am joined by my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the one, the only, Kenny Smyers, the controls guy from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, now in Detroit, Michigan.
Thank you very much. That was a new entry. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, Eric, I tell you what, it's been a whirlwind week again, and it's extraordinary to see how our industry is progressing and to meet with some of the real thought leaders and the people provoking change. The innovation here was just palpable, and it was just a great time.
No, it really is. We're at Cochrane Supplies ControlCon. And Ken, like you said, it's just been an outstanding event. We're going to cover a couple posts real quick, and then we're just going to, the rest of it's going to be some of the interviews and some of the sights and sounds we've seen at ControlCon this year. So, you know, the big thing I want to point out on the website, we have a cool Tim Tech Tips. He goes to the InTouch thermostat, shows you how you can use this thing for different applications. It really is kind of a, if you're trying to do light commercial on a budget, this is a great solution. Tim shows you how. The other one we're doing a little bit differently is we got Mark Ramick from Stromquist and Company, Mark's Cool Tools. He has a tool for Greenleaf that he's basically wrangled a deal on. So if you wanted to pre-order that, you can basically save about 30%. So check that post out. But enough of that craziness, Kenny, man. What have been your thoughts so far on ControlCon?
Well, this is day two. Day one, when we got here, we saw 500 of the industry leaders, meet in an environment. This Motor City Hotel Casino is an extraordinary place. The venue is awesome. The music room, where they have live concerts from a lot of big hits, was our venue for a staged performance from Scott Cochrane, where he took the stage and basically never slowed down, all the way to the gala celebration later on in the evening, celebrating their 50th anniversary, Cochrane Supply. The panel was of great interest. We had some really truly representative thought leaders from the real estate market. Jim Young, we had the Tritium guys, we had the CEO, Jim Bland, and John Sublett, the CTO.
Don't forget Jim Young.
Well, Jim Young is, we're going to be seeing him next week too, by the way. So, but we got the gentleman from Bedrock. Please visit our post on day one, and you'll see the in-depth bios on these guys and what they talked about. But what were your thoughts?
Well, I tell you what, I think, it was kind of refreshing because a lot of the trends we've been talking about for the last couple of years, now they're really starting to take off at a velocity force. So I tell you what, without further ado, let's listen to some of the interviews and we'll cycle back around. Hey, Eric Stromquist, Ken Smyers, and Kimberly Brown here at day two of Cochrane's ControlCon. Kim, what an event this has been. It's just been spectacular. Last night was just incredible. And I think, one of the first questions I have to ask is, we saw the video last night about the employees at Cochrane Supply, and it seems like it's a great place to work. Tell us a little bit about your journey and how you wound up at Cochrane Supply.
Well, I started with Cochrane Supply when I was 19 years old. Was looking for a receptionist job, and just got lucky. Walked in the door, and it just ended up being a perfect fit. I just walked in and filled out an application, actually. I didn't even have a resume at that time. And Scott just kind of realized I had an ability to do a little bit more than just answer the phones. So just kind of moved up the ranks there, worked on the marketing team for a while with training. And then also I left for a while, got married, moved across the country, came back, and I got back involved with a big energy project with the state of Michigan, doing some benchmarking. And started taking over the energy for the state and doing a lot of data entry and stuff, and got some people underneath me to help me with that, and just kept moving up. Now I'm assistant general manager and in charge of HR and special projects and project management of the tech service team now. We're adding that to my list of things to do.
Awesome. Certainly, Cochrane is a great company, and it takes a great team to make a great company, and you're obviously a great player. Tell us about the project you're working on now.
Right now, we're doing a bunch of stuff with Stanford on some data standards. Ford Global with Land Energy, we're doing some data standards for them too. We've got a ton of stuff in the hopper right now. With a lot of it's energy focused, which is great. And we're actually just now working on the Raven notification app too, which we just developed, and we're going to start betaing soon, which is a...
I want to hop in here real quick because you talk about beta. I mean, I was pretty impressed. Yesterday, there were 500 people in the room, and you beta tested it in the room, and it's a notification app. So sort of set the stage. Why is that important? Why did you develop it? And then talk about a little bit more about what it is.
Well, Scott and I have sat through a lot of meetings with some large end users that have issues with their IT networks, and they don't want people on their IT network. So we're trying to figure out a way to get data to the people that need it without having to go and get permission from the people in charge of IT. So basically, people just need to know what's happening in their buildings. And so we saw it as an opportunity, and Scott had a BFI and decided let's go ahead and make this. And people are really excited. They want to know what's going on in their buildings, and we found a way to bring it to them.
Well, you know what's interesting is that Scott mentioned during his presentation that there's so much information, so much data that you need to excise it. And what this thing really looked attractive to me was it's notification only, and it's a call home type thing, so it's very secure. Tell us about the security aspects.
Well, it's push-only data, so you can't get back in. You can really just kind of take a look at what's going on by just having it come out and tell you, hey, this is happening in your building, and it's set up so it can be location-based or building-based, however you want it, and you are in charge of what notifications you get.
Awesome.
Very cool. Well, how does our Control Trends community find out more about it?
Well, they can go to our website and take a look at it, or they can contact me directly. My info's right up on the website too, and Nicole Conklin and I are working on getting the beta program put together, and then we're going to launch the product later this year.
Super. Very cool. Well, the one thing we noticed last night is starting as a receptionist at Cochrane Supply is a pretty good place to start because you got about 7 or 8 of your key executives that started as receptionists.
Yeah. Nicole Conklin, myself, Stephanie Menzo, our e-commerce manager, also started as a receptionist, and we've got a few other people that have moved up the ranks. We really like to promote from within.
So if I worked out a little bit and maybe got my hair done, do you think maybe I could get a job as a receptionist?
Oh yeah, definitely. You got to get some curls going though.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, again, we're talking to Kimberly Brown. Among other things, she is the host at the Controltrends Awards, and our community is sure hoping you'll come back again next year in Chicago for the 2000. Cool.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'll be there.
All right, we're talking to Kimberly Brown from Cochrane Supply, cochranesupply.com. Check them out. Tell them I want a Raven too.
Yeah.
As the Raven flies.
Yeah.
We're talking to Paul Maximuk from Ford Motor Company. Paul, thanks for taking a few minutes to speak with us.
Wonderful. Great to talk to you, Eric.
Well, now, I suspect at Ford you get exposed to so much technology, and one of the things you guys are known for in these circles is really one of the first major industrial accounts to adopt the Niagara framework in your processes. Could you speak a little bit about that?
Absolutely. One of the key things that brought us into the Niagara framework was it was introduced into our commercial properties, and what we looked at was evaluating this to bring this under a global standard for all of Ford Motor Company, which was adopted. It gave us the opportunity to integrate all these different legacy systems that were out there, different protocols, industrial protocols, PLCs, and so forth, and bring us into a central enterprise solution. So one of the great things that happened was it built some great partnerships during this whole process. Tritium was very engaging with us. We worked with them in building up a better relationship with Cochrane Supply, who's obviously our distributor and training partner. And it really opened up the door for all these companies to really see how things have changed technology-wise and what a company like Ford Motor Company or different competitors or whatever were able to accomplish by doing this. And what steered everything originally in manufacturing was just gathering energy data. So what we did was we connected to all the electric and gas and compressed air systems to be able to get all this data, throw this data in our enterprise hosted internal solution, and be able to share that data and attach an analytic package to it. So that started everything. One of the great things that happened was it was a great experience for everybody to see what worked and what didn't work. One of the key things that really changed for us, we evolved through 3 substantial software changes. We started at 3.7, we went to the 3.8 platform, and then last year we migrated to Niagara 4 and worked with Tritium on some identified bugs that we found. What's great about working in a corporation like at Ford is we have a huge IT infrastructure which enables us to do developmental and quality testing on these products before we put it into production. So we have gone and done this.
So rumor on the street has it that this was a very economically affordable solution too, compared to some of the stuff you've been offered. Is that accurate?
That is correct. But what drove that economic situation internally in Ford is money on a project is really hard to come by anyway, because the infrastructure is not the highest priority. It's always in manufacturing when you're a manufacturing company. So we were able to take all these systems that we had, different contracts with, service level of contracts, maintenance agreement contracts, and roll that into one infrastructure and be able to manage that licensing from that infrastructure.
Paul, you have a very interesting job title, and you asked some very, very good questions to the panel earlier, and they dreaded when you grabbed the microphone because you didn't pull any punches, and it was quite a panel. So just tell the Control Trends community what your job title is, because you have a great deal of knowledge about the industry, and you challenge some of the propositions and statements made by the panel members.
Right. So, first of all, I come from a contracting background. I did contracting for about 30 years. I was brought into Ford as the building management system subject matter expert. So I deal with the global solution for Ford, for all the regions, Asia Pacific, Europe, South America, North America, Middle East. One of the most important things that happened with me was I built the relationships internally with Ford with the IT infrastructure teams, networking engineers, application teams, the development teams, and everything else. And I've become what everybody hates. I've become an IT person, more or less. And as discussed earlier in some of the other conferences that we looked at, IT is part of our life. We are going to be engaging on their networks. We already are doing that. We have to evolve with their technology to be able to get this information and perform the analytics that we want to do. So I did challenge these guys because coming from that background, you need to understand what your risk is going to be when you connect to somebody's network.
Sure.
So
you asked a question near and dear to Kenny and my heart, because we've been trying to find out how we can sell cybersecurity with our JASES, right? Mm-hmm. And you asked that question. You're going to be able to sell us cybersecurity with it. Right. So that was cool. So, well, put this in scale. I mean, I'm guessing you got to be one of Tritium's largest customers, because you mentioned worldwide, and you are deploying this strategy globally, right?
Correct. So to give you an idea of the magnitude of where we are at, we have 85 manufacturing sites. Total Ford portfolios over 300 million square feet. We have deployment in manufacturing about 50% of our facilities at some shape or form, whether it's full plant integration or just metering integration. We have already hit that point. In North America, we're at 100% deployment in our research and engineering and Class A commercial properties. Asia Pacific, we are, as they build the facilities, they are going to this global standard. Same thing in India, we're doing the same thing. We're building a new facility right now. It's an engineering research facility out there. It's going to be 100% tritium. Europe, we are converting those sites. We're about 40% converted right now, including the largest site, which is our Cologne facility. And then South America is currently under deployment, doing all their metering projects. So it really has expanded. Tritium really and Honeywell understand the importance of large customers like Ford and competitors on helping to develop their roadmaps, because that's what we look for, is engagement with a partnership to build those roadmaps.
Very well said. And of course, if you want to know why Ford builds such great cars and why they're so competitively priced, it's this guy right here with this getting a handle on his energy spend. So Paul, we deal with a lot of industrial type clients that are using PLCs and trying to get a handle on it. You sort of alluded to this, but what sort of would be the first step you would take if you were going to look at Niagara as a solution? And, because you're primarily doing it to, again, get the analytics, because it's a lot less expensive to do. Right. And step one is obviously call either Kenny or myself or Cochrane. Right. But step two is what?
Step two is, first of all, look how these devices are connected, the existing infrastructure. We found so many cases of what we call shadow IT, where years ago, somebody at the plant agreed to put it on a network. It sort of got forgotten. And then all of a sudden, the auditors come through and they say, what are these devices on our network? And we've identified a lot of, they've gone through and done some major audits on the networking. And I get emails every day What is this server? What is this device? Why is it connected to our network? Where's the approval for it to be connected to our network? So we identify that, and then we need to develop a clear strategy how we're going to migrate the old infrastructure into the new. As I mentioned, we've had multiple years of integration, so we had to bring everything up to the same level of software. So we brought everything that was on the AX platform up to 3.8.4.1 and made sure we had that clear all the way across the board. When we rolled out Niagara 4, we elected to keep those devices at 3.8.4.1 on the AX and then just load our supervisors, all our site supervisors were Niagara 4. Right. And then that way it's easier to manage. We host graphics, the histories, the alarm console, all those great things on there, and then we roll everything else up to our master supervisor, which just takes the KPIs that we're looking for our analytics, and we make sure that obviously has to be the top level Niagara 4. So,
super. Paul, it's been a real treat talking with you, man. Thanks for taking a few seconds to talk with us, man. And man, Paul, one of the greats in our industry, man, doing it on the industrial side. So thank you, buddy.
Absolutely.
Nicole Conklin, another one of the superstars at Cochrane Supply. And Nicole, you were telling me the number one skill you have to have at Cochrane Supply is you have to be a power napper. Any truth to that?
Yeah, I could use a power nap right now.
All right, I got you. Really, that celebration last night was absolutely spectacular. Hell, I need a power nap too, what can I say? But tell us a little bit about what you do for Cochrane and what makes Cochrane so special.
Well, I am a product manager for Cochrane Supply. I'm responsible for making sure all of our salespeople, our customers, everybody affiliated with us has all the products and resources, everything they need for the product lines. I've been with Cochrane Supply almost 18 years now, and they're family. They're very family-oriented. They worry and take care of their employees, make sure that they're taken care of, they have everything that they need, and that's really what's kept me there. And also the technology and the awesome ideas that Scott's always coming out with. We call them BFIs, but if he didn't have these BFIs, I don't know where we would be right now.
Well, I tell you what, Scott is an amazing individual for sure, and Kenny's got a question for you.
Well, again, Scott, they have a great staff here, a team, and you're one of the great team members. In fact, the first time I met you was actually down at Tritium, Niagara Training Center for security. So tell the Controltrends listeners and viewers some of your background. I mean, you actually have a very steeped background in the technical side. You've been through all the certification beginning with R2, right?
Yeah, I'm R2 AX certified, security certified, and then recently did the Niagara 4 and the Niagara Analytics certifications. When I was starting with Cochrane Supply, I started as a receptionist, and I just kind of grew from there, went into a bunch of different positions, and I was in marketing, and we picked up this Niagara product line, and I was very interested. I was going to school for computers, doing Java programming and stuff, and I'm like, what is this Tritium stuff? I want it. I want to be a part of it. So I got into all the licensing and tech support and purchasing of the product, and it was pretty much my product line for many years. And then once AX came out and we started getting larger and more customers and more projects, we actually started hiring out tech support people to help us support the lines because I couldn't do it all anymore.
Well, it's true quality and depth, and I think it's a testimony to the approach that Cochrane takes.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I think I see a raven. Oh, there's another one. There are ravens everywhere. Tell us about this raven thing that you guys got going on.
Oh, we're really excited about Raven. It's a notification software that we just launched, and instead of receiving emails or text messages for your building alarms, now we actually have notifications that we can send to individuals, and with the notifications we also do proximity. So if you only want to receive your notifications for alarms while you're in the building or near the building, then you just have the proximity turned on, and then once you arrive in the building, they'll send you a message saying that they know that you're there, and then you'll start receiving any alarms while you're there.
It's super cool. We saw it yesterday. It was kind of an impressive presentation. You guys beta tested it in front of 500 people, and it worked really, really well. Now, I'm going to let you on a little secret, okay? I've got Cochrane Supply figured out.
Okay.
The power position is a receptionist. So just so you know, I'm going to interview with Don and Scott a little bit later on for a receptionist. Scott's already told me, man, I got to do my hair different and lose a few pounds. But Cochrane Supply, man, you guys do a great thing. How do people find out more about the Raven?
Well, actually, the best way is probably get a hold of one of us. We're still in beta, so we're actually just getting into beta, so we don't really have any advertising or anything on our websites yet. But stay tuned to CochraneSupply.com. We will be putting it up there, also our tech services site as well. But right now, we are looking for beta people to help test us, make sure this works and it's something successful.
Well, I tell you what, your reputation precedes you. Anybody I talk to in the industry that deals with you is so complimentary of what you do. You're probably right. Let's go power nap. Come on. All right.
All right, let's go nap.
Thanks. The Eagles once said, there's a new kid in town. We're talking to Ryan Sin from Distech. I think this is your first Cochrane Controls Con event, Ryan.
It absolutely is, and we could not be more honored or privileged to be able to celebrate Cochrane's 50th anniversary.
Well, I tell you what, you guys, talking about celebration, you have to go look at the Controltrends Awards because Ryan and the team at Distech know how to accept an award, right? Give me a look.
Right. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. So you guys won several awards your first year with the Controltrends. So thank you very much for the Controltrends Awards, and you guys got some new stuff going on. So talk a little bit about Distech and what you guys got in the hopper.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think February 1st, 2017 will go down in the history books as that was the date that we signed our strategic partnership with Cochrane Supply. And I think our two paths really joined moving forward in the IoT play to be able to unify building automation systems and lighting controls to a single platform.
Anyhow, no, but listen, Ryan, I'll tell you what, it's exciting because right from here, you're going out to California, sunny California, San Diego, and you're going to do something very special out there at Realcomm IBCon. Tell us about that.
That's right. We got a tremendous presence next week at the IBCon show. It is our first showing, and we're coming out full steam ahead. So we're really excited about that, and I think we're generating a lot of interest with our unified solutions platform.
Well, I think you certainly are. Tell us a little bit more about some of the synergies going on at Acuity, Distech.
Yeah, so what we've been able to bring to market is truly a singular platform that allows us to create a single pane of glass experience where in one single user interface, we can bridge BAS control and lighting. Okay, so it's a game changer in the industry. We're really excited about it.
Well, great. Congratulations to Cochrane for being a great partner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guess what? We're all IoT certified.
There we go. Hey, now let's do the official Distech celebration. Yeah. All right, Ryan Sin from Distech. Distech.com. Check them out, man.
Absolutely.
Cochrane Jr. has the money. Scott Cochrane Jr. has the personality, but Mike Mitchell has the brains. At least that's what Scott Cochrane told us last night at your gala event. We're here with Mike Mitchell, Cochrane Supply's Chief Technology Officer, among other things.
Hey there, how you doing?
Out in the Controltrends community. So this is the guy that really helps make it happen at Cochrane Supply. Mike, first of all, man, what a great conference you guys have put on here.
Thank you kindly. It's been a long time in the making. There's a bunch of people behind it, and they all did a great job, so pulled it off.
Yeah. Well, we think, in the annals of, is that a word? And the annals? Okay, all right, so we obviously So throughout history, I mean, there have been great combinations. There's been Jagger and Richards, there's been Lennon and McCartney, and now there's Scott Cochrane and Mike Mitchell. You guys launched something yesterday that sort of blew me away. You're raving, man. Tell our community a little bit about that.
Fantastic. Well, it's a notification function that we're providing different connectors for. We've got right now a connector for Niagara 4, so you can take your Niagara 4 stations, send out alarm information and announcement information directly to your cell phone. So it uses the Amazon Web Services simple notification service, sends those messages right to your phone. You can program what you want your phone to see or what you doesn't want to see. And you can also apply proximity settings to it as well. So when you walk into a certain location, you'll get notification that you walked into that location, and you'll receive announcements about that location.
Well, how cool is that? And I think the problem it really solves, and you know this, we all have all these elaborate alarm councils in the buildings, and you get so many alarms, you get too many alarms, you just don't do them at all, right?
Yep. This simplifies that process. You only get what you need. Like Scott was saying before, he runs his whole life off of his notifications on his phone. He can just quickly, at a glance, see what he needs to see, process that information, and act on it. Same thing with that. This applies that to the building control.
Brilliant.
Well, Mike, we have already complimented some of your colleagues, Nicole, and we know that it takes great people to make a great team, and Cochrane has been celebrating their 50th anniversary and 50 years of success. Tell us about what's in the future for Cochrane to ensure the next 50 years of success.
Oh my gosh. Well, probably expansion. We're already expanding some more. We're talking about new branches in other areas. We're going to be getting a little bit more into development, offering even more support. Sky's the limit, really. Probably leveraging a lot of the newer technologies as well, getting more into R&D, helping other vendors, with their stuff, developing some things that we can offer them, etc.
Well, Scott mentioned some interesting things, like it used to be 90% hardware and now and 10% software, and he said now it's 70-30, and he says in the next couple of years it's going to be 50-50, so it looks like you have some more heavy lifting to do.
We sure do, and we'll hopefully be ready for it, and I think we got the right crew right now, the right foundation for it. We're going to add on to that and keep going.
Well done.
Mike Mitchell from Cochrane Supply. Mike, thanks for taking a few minutes to speak with us. And again, congratulations on the conference and the Raven product.
Yeah, thank you kindly.
All right, good to see you, man. Thanks. Yeah. Well done, man. I mean, one of the cool things about Cochrane, Kenny, is, man, they're always finding really cool vendors. I mean, they're very resolute about this whole thing. So I'm here with Melissa Duckworth from Resolute. And first of all, is this your first Cochrane conference?
It is my first Cochrane conference, and it's been fabulous. I've met a lot of really interesting people and seen some really great presentations.
And now you're going to be a Controltrends fan, right?
Yeah, I already was a control.
Were you really?
Big fan, yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's awesome. That is awesome. So thank you for that.
I'm taking a look at, you had a lot of traffic through your booth area, so as a vendor, I think you had a great show. But tell us about the building intelligence, the energy system savings, the portfolios. Tell us a little bit more about Resolute.
Yeah, well, one of the things that Resolute's doing that's a little bit different and that I'm involved in is we're taking a user-centered experience approach. So we're providing higher level, more well-designed dashboards for the C-level suite, right? So we're really trying to elevate the conversation and provide something that is easy to consume for folks who are used to looking at reports or quarterly reports and those types of documents. So that's kind of what sets our solution apart from some others.
So tell us a little bit about your background. How did you get involved with Resolute?
So my background, I was with the automotive industry, and then I was with the healthcare industry doing dashboards and user interface design. And so I came to Resolute to sort of help bring them into the current approaches of making things easy to use, lower the bars for training, those types of things.
Awesome.
Well, I think there's an art form, because, I mean, getting the data is one thing, and there's data everywhere, right? But in having it make sense, and from what I picked up, you guys we have a lot of building analytics software that really focuses sort of from the building analytics side. Seems like you guys are offering that, but you're also offering other stuff that real estate people might want and might need that maybe some of these other platforms are not providing. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah, we're looking at companies that have lots of different types of buildings in their portfolios. So we have folks who might have restaurants as well as arenas as well as convention centers. And how can they bring all of those into one dashboard and make comparisons between them? So very different types of building types and figuring out how to optimize them across the portfolio.
Well, it's a really cool looking product. What's the best website for people if they want to check it out, get more information?
ResoluteBI.com.
Resolute BI.
Yes.
What does the BI stand? Big idea? Oh, I thought it was big idea. Let's go with Resolute BI, bigidea.com.
Yes, thank you.
Melissa, thanks so much. Appreciate it. You too.
All right, Controltrends, we are with Dave Ladwick. He's the general manager of Cochrane Supply. And Dave, we've just been raving for the last 2 days about what an extraordinary event this was and the great people that you came here. Tell us about some of the people that came here, attended, and what your thoughts were.
Well, the amazing thing is a lot of these people that attended the conference have been attending or coming to our business counters for 20-some years. They are not only customers, but they're friends. And we really believe strongly in relationships, and we nurture our relationships, we honor it, and we love our vendors as well as our customers. And that's kind of the philosophy of Cochrane Supply, being a family-owned business, that it is a family, and it reaches out in all directions.
So, how did you get started with Cochrane? Because you've been here you're not one of these people who's been here a year, so you've been here a while. How did you get started?
I was doing a little bit of contract work. I worked for another controls company and doing some contract work for Cochrane Supply. Don called me at home one night. I was drunk, and I said yes. He asked me to come to work for him. And I was in the engineering department for quite a while and held a few positions. And now I'm the general manager.
Well, one of the things that 24, okay. And one of the things that impressed us last night, we saw the video, is how long your employees are here, how happy they are. Now, as a general manager, and Kenny used the analogy of a family, I mean, my guess is sort of looking at you, you're probably not the mothering type, you're more like the fathering type. I mean, so how do you keep people is engaged as Cochrane is, producing the results they can, and at the same time happy? What's the secret there?
Well, that's an interesting question. We have 57 employees now, and we have 57 different personalities, and you get to know each person individually by name. You know their families, their wives, husbands, spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends, kids, and you just assimilate them into the family, and you deal with them as you have to.
Well, I tell you what, great job. I mean, obviously as a general manager, a lot of this, has your stamp on it and taking care of stuff. So congratulations, Dave.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, man. All right, Kenny, man, another great show on Control Talk now. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Kenny and I are packing our bags. We're headed to Realcomm IBCon next week, so we'll be touching base with you then. So thanks for tuning in. Hey, if you're one of our podcast listeners, you might want to go to ControlTrends.com, look at the video cast to check out some of the video footage we posted. But until then, remember, be bold, stay in control.
Indeed, Eric.
Indeed, Kenny Smyers.